Good, happy Sunday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Politics right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. First up, Senator Maggie Hassan got sworn in as member of the 115th Congress. That happened earlier this week. Let's take a look at the video.
Mr. Grassley of Iowa, Ms. Harris of California, Ms. Hassan of New Hampshire, Mr. Hoeven of North Dakota.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you're about to enter, so help you God? I do. Congratulations.
Okay, and there you have it. That's video of Maggie Hassan getting sworn in earlier this week. Very cool indeed. Also this week, we got a new governor on Thursday, Governor Chris Sununu. And he's our 82nd governor for New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video.
And we know what it is. It's our substance abuse crisis. It infiltrates everything in our society. Workforce, education, our daily lives.
So with that acknowledgement, the new governor told lawmakers that the key to solving New Hampshire's crisis of addiction starts in the classroom.
Aggressive prevention programs in our schools that start earlier, that are more aggressive. And I think we need to bringing in the parents and the stakeholders into those programs, right? Let's teach the parents what are the warning signs.
The governor also called on lawmakers for immediate action on social worker caseloads, specifically the publicly exposed cracks in protective services.
Our shortcomings in this area, and there are shortcomings, they're critical, and frankly, they're unacceptable. It's a failure of all of us, and it's a failure of our system.
And on the front lines of the drug battle, a pledge of state support.
We need to make sure they know that no matter what, we have their back.
Okay, there you go. Very excited about that as well, our new governor. And we haven't had a Republican governor for a while as well, everyone. The last time we had a Republican governor was in 2004. Lawmakers return to State House to begin new legislative session. New Hampshire lawmakers are returning to formally begin a new legislative session. The House and Senate, which votes 424 members, are convening on Wednesday during a joint session. Secretary of State Bill Gardner will provide a report on vote totals for the executive branch races. On Thursday, Republican Chris Sununu got inaugurated as New Hampshire's next governor, and will then hold a receptionist in the Executive Council chambers and praise over his first council meeting as governor. Then it will be straight to work for the next 6 months. Sununu must present a budget in February, which lawmakers will vote on and pass by June. Trump touts benefits of good relationship with Russia. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Get 30% off every guest in the Caribbean and start wandering now. Offer ends today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
Other major story we are covering, the new declassified intelligence report that says Russia tried to influence the American presidential election. President-elect Donald Trump, who Vladimir Putin was allegedly trying to help, now making his first comments after being briefed by intelligence officials. And ABC's David Wright is here with more. David, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. This was a dramatic scene in the Cold War 2.0. The president-elect sitting down with the spy masters, America's most senior intelligence officials, hearing their unequivocal assessment that Vladimir Putin ordered the hack of the U.S. election with the intention of electing Trump, and still, Donald Trump doesn't seem to buy it. The classified briefing took place at Trump Tower, the nation's top intelligence officials there to explain in detail why they're convinced Russia tried everything possible to influence the November election in favor of Trump. A declassified version of the report released later in the day read, "We assess Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered an influence campaign in 2016 aimed at the U.S. presidential election. The goal? To help President-elect Trump's election chances when possible by discrediting Secretary Clinton and publicly contrasting her unfavorably to him." ABC chief anchor George Stephanopoulos discussed the matter with President Obama.
Bottom line, this time, Vladimir Putin got what he wanted.
Well, look, I think that what is true is that the Russians intended to meddle, and they meddled. I'll be honest with you, George, one of the things that I am concerned about is the degree to which we've seen a lot of commentary lately where there are Republicans or pundits or cable commentators who seem to have more confidence in Vladimir Putin than fellow Americans because those fellow Americans are Democrats. That cannot be.
Does that include the president-elect?
Well, what I will say is that, and I said this right after the election, we have to remind ourselves we're on the same team. Vladimir Putin's not on our team.
Before the classified briefing, Trump repeatedly cast doubt on the Russian hacking story. Afterward, he released a statement that didn't even mention Putin. Trump did concede that Russia, China, and others are consistently trying to hack a variety of American institutions, but rejected any assertion this might have influenced the election results. Well, this morning, Trump tweeted there was absolutely no evidence that the hacking affected the election results. He's now calling for a congressional investigation, not into the Russian hacking, but rather into how reporters obtained a leaked copy of the declassified report, even before Trump himself had the briefing.
David, thank you. I think this is something we'll be talking about for a while, whether the president-elect wants us to or not. And quick note, you can see the full interview between President Obama and ABC News chief anchor George Stephanopoulos tomorrow morning right here on ABC on This Week.
Thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that report. No fraction at all with Trump's private security. Secret Service chief says. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
There have been reports out there basically saying that Donald Trump kept his private security even after he was elected. Is that true?
Well, first of all, let me just say that the Secret Service has the sole responsibility of protecting the president, the vice president, the first family, etc. Under U.S. Code 1830-56, we have the authority, we have the mandate, and only the Secret Service has that authority to protect these individuals. And we only work with the law enforcement partners. This group that you're referring to, they're not in any of our meetings, in advance meetings, or not armed. They're more of a staff function than a security function. So we don't interact with them.
So if there was a threat to the president-elect, they wouldn't interfere?
No, that's correct. We have our own plan for protecting the president-elect, and there's no interaction at all there.
And there's no concern that there might be friction or might be...
No, no friction at all.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that is it for politics right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday. Goodbye, everyone.